This is Up for Debate, episode number 277. I think that's right. Recorded on December 28th, 2023. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Up for Debate, the debate podcast where the two hosts agree on everything. I'm Sean Jennings, joined by a man who's basically the grown-up version of the New Year's baby. It's Matt Mariani. Hello, Matt.
Who? Not too grown up, Sean. Not too grown up, but you know, just
New
enough.
Year's baby at heart.
That's right. Always a New Year's baby at heart. Better to be a New Year's baby at heart than to be Halloween old. Better to be than a Scrooge than I was going to say a Christmas old man, which was basically a Scrooge. Yeah, it's okay to be a Scrooge. Yeah, sometimes.
Matt. Let me ask you a question. What do you think, how would you react if a deceased colleague of yours visited you in the night and took you to see three ghosts, past, present, and future, to teach you a lesson about how you treat others? How do you think that would go for you?
I would say it'd probably leave me pretty traumatized. I mean, we don't really see that side in the movie, but I would first of all, I'd probably wonder what I ate for dinner that night. Lay off the spicy foods next time, and then I would tell Tiny Tim to get the hell back to work, because those shoes aren't going to press themselves. What business did Scrooge have in the movie, in the story?
Does
he even address that?
Really good.
What does he sell? I imagine because it's that of that era, he's got to be like a factory guy.
Wikipedia is very helpful. Scrooge owned a counting house, which is a type of business that makes loans, collects debt payments, and trades commodities, similar to a Victorian payday loan shop. He was a loan shark.
They do kind of address that, right? Because Marley's counting money. Bob Marley, or Jacob? Bob Marley. Bob Marley, his coworker.
Bob Marley.
That's before he joined the Whalers.
Twist on.
Yeah. How did they never run with that? Somebody should have ran with that. The Muppets should have ran with that. Call him Bob Marley. And if Bob Marley visited me in my sleep, I think that'd be a really cool time. I think we'd have a great time. Feel all right, Sean. We'd get together and feel all right. He would tell me to not worry about a thing.
A bad dream and ignore it.
He would say, "Don't worry about a thing."
I don't think it would change anything.
That would be awesome.
I'm still a businessman first.
Jacob Marley's visitation was quite the opposite. He didn't tell Scrooge, "Don't worry about a thing." He said, "No, you got to worry because you're a miserly old crone, and you got to change your ways and stop being like this, or all your friends are going to hate you and you're going to die alone." That was, I think, the Scrooge message. But no, I would probably discount that as just some bad cheese or something, and then tell Tiny Tim, you got to pull your weight. Everybody's got to pull their weight at the counting house. Did Tiny Tim work for Scrooge?
No, I think he wasn't he like a street urchin orphan?
It's been so long.
I thought he was just like around.
He's a kid that Scrooge picks up and puts on his shoulders. Is he not part of the story until the very end?
No, he is. He's the young son of Bob Cratchit.
Oh, and Bob Cratchit,
by the Ghost of Christmas Present, he has shown just how ill the boy really is.
Bob Cratchit is his employee, right? Is that how it goes?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Bob Cratchit works for Scrooge. Yeah, that's right.
Dickens does not explicitly say what Tiny Tim's illness is. It could have been rickets, potentially.
Mm-hmm. Consumption.
But no one knows for sure.
Yeah.
Gout. I don't know. Dickens tried other names, such as Tiny Mick and Little Fred. But eventually settled on Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim. Perfect alliteration. Nicely done.
Matt, this episode is not about classic works of literature. Maybe it'd be better off if it was. No, instead, Matt, it is December 28th. And that means this year, the year of our Lord, 2023, is ending. It's over, and what a year it's been. And Matt, we're going to spend the next chunk of time here doing a year in review, talking about the year that was, 2023, some of the things we remember, some of the things maybe we don't, and potentially what things we might look forward to next year. Matt, when I say 2023, what comes to your mind first?
2023. What is the first thing that comes to my mind? Well, I don't know. Like, so are you looking for something that defined this year? Something that
again, the first, like, what's the number one thing about, like, if you had to put a word or a phrase or a sentence about 2023, what would it be?
General anxiety.
Wait until the end after we recap.
Maybe we say, like I would say, like world wars, financial panic, TikTok. I don't know. What else are you thinking about?
I don't know. Uninspiring, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, we're this is how many years out of a pandemic? Is this the first full year officially where the pandemic was over? Or
yeah, I mean, I guess each year gets better. So yeah, I would say even 22 to some degree. But yeah, I would say this is pretty. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking up really quick. It says,
more or less.
Yeah, it was. This was the first year. It has not even been a full year. The federal commission on COVID officially declared that the pandemic ended on May 11th of this year, May 11th, 2023. So it has not even been over for a whole year. I was thinking like maybe this was the first full length year post pandemic, but no. Well, that'll be next year.
Not even.
That'll be in just a few short days, Sean, because we are putting a cap on 2023. What would you say this year, if you could point to one thing that you think that happened this year, one thing that happened this year that you think you will remember in future years to come, what would that be?
One word, Matt. Barbenheimer.
Ooh,
no, I'm just kidding.
This of the Barbenheimer, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Gosh, what? I don't know. I think it's. You know, I don't. I think it's hard to point. If you were like Sean, what was 2013 about? I'd be like, I don't know. You know, it's. I don't think time works that way anymore. I just think a bunch of stuff is always happening, and it doesn't clearly fall within 12-month calendars. So, what do I remember 2023 for? I remember being fine. But that's not a fun answer.
Like personally, yeah. I mean, and fine. You know what? I don't know about you, Sean, but I will take fine. I will take just okay. I will take decent. But certainly better than the alternative.
Over.
Yep, almost
now, Matt,
over.
I have here, just to get us started, to get us in a 2023 mindset, our good friends over at the Cable News Network, CNN, have put together a year-in-review news quiz asking about many of the top events of 2023. Now, you're a man of history, but how do you feel you would do on a 2023 news quiz?
Ooh, very recent history, which I'm terrible at, notoriously. So, probably really bad.
Oh, boy.
But let's see. Let's see how we do.
There are, how many questions are on this? 20 questions on this quiz, okay? And it ranges a whole bunch. We'll start with this first one. Chaos reigned in the U.S. House of Representatives, which elected Kevin McCarthy as Speaker after 15 rounds of voting, and then ousted him 9 months later. Who is the new Speaker of the House? Is it, now these are multiple choice,
okay. I think I know
Tom
this one.
Emmer, Steve Scalise, Mike Johnson, or Marjorie Taylor Greene?
It's Mike Johnson. Final answer.
That is correct. The Republican from Louisiana.
Indeed.
All right, how about this one? Cryptocurrency guru Sam Bankman-Fried was convicted of fraud and conspiracy in a scandal that rocked the financial industry. What was the name of his cryptocurrency company? Was it FTX, Kraken, Binance, or Ethereum?
I want to say Ethereum. That's the only one on there that I feel like I've heard of. I'm going to go with that.
Matt, I will jump in before I should share the screen on this. Why am I not doing that so people can see it?
I don't know.
I actually know the answer to this one.
Is it Kraken?
Kraken is a type of cryptocurrency. So is Ethereum. FTX was the name of his company.
Okay, would not have gotten that. Now, the only reason I knew it wasn't Kraken was because there were not enough release the Kraken jokes surrounding this scandal. So,
absolutely, no, that's a good way to think. In other news, gun violence continued to plague communities across the U.S. Which state suffered the deadliest mass shooting in 2023? Was it Texas, Maine, Tennessee, or California?
Well, of course, it's a very 2023 thing that I believe there were mass shootings in all of these states. I think... I don't know. For some reason, I'm leaning towards was this year the that elementary school in Texas? Or was that last year?
That might have been this year.
I think that was this spring. That was bad.
So you want to go with Texas?
But also, I remember hearing the one in Maine was pretty destructive. That one, like a lot of, I think more people may have died. So I'm going to go with Maine.
Maine is
correct.
It was
Maine, yep.
A U.S. Army reservist killed 18 people during a shooting rampage in October.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? A little sports question. Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James became the NBA's all-time leading scorer with the 38,388th point of his career in February. Whose record did he break? Was it Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, or Karl Malone?
Point total.
Yes, the highest scoring player in NBA history. The man whose record he broke was actually there to congratulate him when he broke the record.
Was it Wilt Chamberlain?
It was not Wilt Chamberlain.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
It was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That was my first
NBA
guess.
MVP.
Was my first guess. I changed it at the last minute. What did Wilt Chamberlain do? Wilt Chamberlain surrendered to the Nazis, right? Peace in our time. Wasn't that Wilt Chamberlain?
No, he's the one who scored 100 points in a single game and still holds the record.
Oh, I was thinking Neville Chamberlain. Probably his uncle or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh. And then what's it?
No history
humor
go to the
bathroom. I think that's a chamber pot.
Or a chambermaid. Moving on.
Chambermaid. In one of the year's highest-profile criminal trials, former attorney Alex Murdaugh was convicted of murdering his wife and son. What state is he from? Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, or South Carolina?
This I don't remember hearing about.
This case at all?
I did not follow this case. But this seems like I'm going to say I'm torn between Florida or Georgia. I'm going to go with Florida.
I know it's one of the Carolinas. I'm going to guess. I think it's South Carolina. It is South Carolina. They deliberated for less than 3 hours before finding him guilty.
All right.
Which country has acted as a mediator in the Israel-Hamas conflict that began this year? Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, or Saudi Arabia?
A mediator? One of these countries is acting as a mediator?
That is correct, helping negotiate with the hostages and those sorts of things.
As far as I know, this is tough. I think I would assume it's not Saudi Arabia. So I think I would rule them out. And Kuwait just seems like too small of a country to really, I mean, the remaining countries are small, but to have that big of a role of acting as a mediator, I'm going to say Qatar, because they have a lot of wealth and influence. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got it. Nice job. Here we go. After premiering in July, Barbie became the highest-grossing movie at the U.S. box office this year. Who directed this pink-hued blockbuster about the iconic doll? Was it Sofia Coppola, Catherine Bigelow, Sarah Polley, or Greta Gerwig?
Greta Gerwig. We know that. Yep.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
More than 1.4 billion worldwide. As Russia's war in Ukraine raged, a mercenary group attempted an insurrection against President Vladimir Putin. The Wagner group's leader later died in a plane crash. What was his name? Sergei?
I was waiting to see if you were going to read them.
Yevgeny or Alexander?
What was...
You got first names.
The leader of Wagner.
I think I know this one.
Oh, I knew this at the time and then promptly forgot this. Was it Alexei Navalny? No,
I think it's Sergei.
I think I was going to change to Yevgeny Prigozhin. I'm souring on Navalny. I don't think it's Navalny anymore. I think it's either A or B. It's either Sergei or Yevgeny Prigozhin. I think let's go with Sergei.
Incorrect. It was Yevgeny.
Yevgeny. Yep.
I think I'm such a smart guy. What do I know?
The SAG-AFTRA strike.
Hollywood actors and writers went on strike, bringing most film and TV productions to a standstill for several months. Who leads SAG-AFTRA, the union for actors? Is it Fran Drescher, Ryan Reynolds, George Clooney, or Angelina Jolie?
I can't believe one of these is actually the correct answer. This is wild that one of these is the leader of the SAG-AFTRA. The one I saw speaking the most at the strikes was actually Bryan Cranston. He's the one I remember, like, actually at the podium speaking a lot. I think Perlman, forgot his first name, Ryan Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman. He was there speaking a lot, but I'm going to go with George Clooney. I think he seems like the one that I would say is most. Don't tell me it's Fran Drescher. I'll be stunned. Who was it?
It is Fran Drescher. She was the president. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. See, it shows how much I was paying attention to that bit of news. That is incredible. I mean, I only base that on the characters she's played, but then I know that's not at all a fair assessment of an actor's work. Not at all. The character. If anything, I think this makes me even more impressed with her versatility. It's great.
She's a cool lady.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yes. This guy.
U.S. Representative George Santos was expelled from the House of Representatives after a scathing report from the Ethics Committee. Which state is Santos from? New Jersey, Massachusetts, New York, or Pennsylvania?
New York, New York.
That is right.
Yeah, he is a New Yorker.
In a lot of trouble. Fun story this year. I would say one of the bright spots this year.
Oh yeah, this was very, very strange and comical, strange in the best of ways. And also now I hear he has a cameo. You can get cameo from him. Mm-hmm.
He's making bank. He's making good money. I'll tell you that. Now, Matt, we'll take we're halfway through the quiz here, but we'll take a break from the quiz. Maybe talk about a few other things that happened this year.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any particular topics you want to talk about. I've got a few other tabs here we can take a look at.
I feel like, there was probably, let's just get morbid. This was probably a big year for celebrity deaths, from what I can remember. There was a lot of folks. Did Lance Reddick die this year or last year? I think it was this year, or like beginning of this year. He kind of kicked it off.
That's a really good question. It was this year in March.
Yeah. So Lance Reddick, is there like some kind of quiz we could play of like, can you name all the celebrities who died in 2023? I feel like there was a lot of them. That would be a good Sporkle quiz.
Well, I can tell you here, so Google Trends puts out its search trends every year of what people were searching for. And I have here the top 10 celebrity deaths that were most Googled.
Okay.
So I suppose theoretically these would be the most popular.
Matthew Perry's got to be up there. He's got to be like
a great one. He is number
one.
The
top. He was number one because there was a lot of suspicion about the toxicology report and everything going around his death, his passing. It was so was Lance Reddick up there? Was he in the top 10?
He was not in the top 10.
Okay. Norman Lear, who was not an actor but a producer. No?
Did not make the top 10. Let's maybe here. I'll give you number 10 on the list. Bob Barker.
Oh yeah, Bob Barker this year. Yep.
Bob Barker passed away this year.
This wasn't Trebek, right? I think Trebek was last year. A couple of years back. Yeah, it's been a couple of years.
Number 9 on the list, Suzanne Summers.
Yep. Suzanne Summers, of course.
Passed away this year.
Three's Company.
The Thigh Master.
The Thigh Master.
Lisa Marie. You remember the Thigh Master?
That's right. That's right. Lisa Marie Presley also this year.
Yep, number 8.
There's one that I didn't know about, and I was like, oh wow, who was it? I hadn't heard about it. Not one that I hadn't heard of, but Pee Wee Herman. I hadn't heard of that one. Pee Wee Herman, of course.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the list?
Also on this list, he is not in the top
Paul
10.
Rubens.
He's not in the top 10.
Paul Rubens? No?
He is not. No. But we do have Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah, Sinead O'Connor.
We also have the Margarita Man himself, Jimmy Buffett.
That's right, Jimmy Buffett. Queen Elizabeth, right? Or was that last year again?
Somehow, that actually might have been this year, and she's not in the top 10. That's really funny.
Maybe she was in the top 12.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
We also have Jerry Springer.
Yeah, Jerry Springer. See, that's why a lot of them I know had passed, but I couldn't remember if it was this year or last year.
And then Tina Turner.
Yeah, that was the one
this year.
That was the one I did not know had died until very recently.
That was the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was a lot of them. There were a lot in like quick succession. Like, I don't know. It felt like that was that kind of year for a lot of celebrities. Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you, they have a bunch of other stuff in this Google year in search where it's like, the most searched athletes or actors, and they're all pretty predictable. But I do love the most searched recipes this year. And they are, without a doubt, insane. So here you go. Here's your number 10, counting up most searched recipes in 2023. You ready?
Let's do it.
Cottage cheese ice cream.
Cottage cheese ice cream. Okay.
I don't know.
That's really one of the most searched up. Okay.
Absolutely. In the U.S.
Sure.
Number 9, Brazilian lemonade.
Yes, I do remember a lot of people talk. Like, there was a lot of buzz around that. Lemonade? A lot of buzz around that on social media happening. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was especially over the summer. There was a lot of hype about the Brazilian lemonade. And now Starbucks lemonade is killing. Or was it Starbucks? No, Panera's lemonade is.
Panera. That was a big story.
People. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hyper lemonade. I almost wish that, like a year or two ago, Fall Out Boy had just come out with another edition of We Didn't Start the Fire. Like they put their own like modern spin on it. I don't know if you've heard it, but I hate those kinds of songs. I hate the original song and I hate that song, but I almost wish that somebody would make a We Didn't Start the Fire of every year. We're just self-containing, because things happen. So there's so much that happens now that is reported every year that I feel like we could do like an entire year's worth of that song every year. There's just so much happens. Like somebody could make a song about everything that happened in 2023, for example. And Panera's Killer Lemonade would, I think, just be a good little lyric that would fit right in that song. You could kind of weave that in somewhere.
Panera's Killer Lemonade.
Yep.
Yeah. I like that. We've also got here Coronation Quiche. We have got Cowboy Butter. Do you know what Cowboy Butter is?
No, is that coffee? I know there's something with coffee and butter or coffee and mayonnaise. What is Cowboy Butter?
No, Cowboy Butter is kind of like a... Huh. That's very strange. It's a lot of butter, unsurprisingly, and then you put a bunch of stuff into it. Dijon mustard, lemon zest, chives, parsley, garlic, paprika, ground pepper, and then you just sort of all mix it with the butter, and it's just like a flavorful herby butter, and that's it.
So it's like is they call it a compote? It's a compound butter. Compote is something else in cooking. It's compound butter. Why? Who calls it a cowboy butter?
It was trendy this year. Maybe
sounds like somebody was trying to say compound butter and then said cowboy instead, and they ran with it.
Cowboy butter.
That is traditionally a compound butter. It's very good. I've had it, and I keep thinking like I should just do this at home. It's really easy. You just take like rosemary and thyme, kind of like.
Yeah, I would think you'd want
roll it into the butter,
there, but I guess
very good. It's very, very good. Yeah.
I'm going to jump up on the list here a little bit. The Pumptini. Are you familiar with the Pumptini?
Pumptini? No, I cannot say I've ever heard of this.
It's a recipe. Are you familiar with the show Vanderpump Rules?
Oh, yes. My wife adores this show. Yep. The Pumptini.
Apparently, this drink is from that. It's a Vanderpump cocktail. Raspberry, simple syrup, vodka, Pavon liquor, grapefruit juice, lime juice in a martini glass.
Great. Yeah. This is very much like the show.
Yeah. Vanderpump Rules.
Uh-huh.
How about lasagna soup?
No. Get out of here with that.
It was the second most searched recipe this year, lasagna soup.
And now I'm searching it too, but for all the wrong reasons.
It's literally
Ooh.
Just a beef tomato soup, and then you like cook and cut up lasagna noodles and you put it in the soup.
It doesn't look bad. I mean, obviously the pictures make it look good, but why don't you just make lasagna at this point? Why does it have to be a soup? Like,
I would agree.
Just make the lasagna. Like, yeah, just make a lasagna and just put a lot of sauce on it. I mean, I would want more lasagna and less soup. Okay.
And our number one most searched for recipe in 2023, remember this one, Matt, the Grimace Shake. Remember the Grimace Shake at McDonald's?
Grimace Shake. Yes, that is going to be, that's one of the foundational 2023 things. Iconic. The Grimace Shake. And, of course, the trend that went with it. Were you familiar with the trend?
Yes, the TikTok hashtag Grimace Shake, absolutely.
That the Grimace Shake kills you. I never got to have a Grimace Shake, Sean. I tried. I went to like 3 different McDonald's. None of them had it, or their milkshake machines were down. The classic old answer. Now I heard about the Grimace Shake. Supposedly, you are. They never disclosed. The company never disclosed what flavor the Grimace Shake was. So some people said it tasted like bubble gum. Some said it tasted like strawberry. But apparently the thing was that whatever you had eaten before it, if you had eaten something like salty, like fries, you were more likely to taste the vanilla in the shake. something like that, or if you had not, versus if you had not eaten fries before, it tasted more like a strawberry flavoring. I don't know. I never got to try it. Very sad. And it was out for less than a month. They rolled it out on June 12th. It was gone July 9th. Yeah, really short window.
Matt, I do want to read this paragraph from the Wikipedia page because it has one of my favorite last sentences. The launch of the Grimace Shake and its resulting publicity increased McDonald's next quarter sales by 10% in stores that had been open for at least a year. In the April-June period, sales rose by 12%. In the quarter after the Grimace Shake release, McDonald's reported $6.5 billion in sales, which beat estimates by $0.2 billion. And here's the kicker. However, the increased business was a nuisance to some employees, as some customers poured the shake on themselves in the store.
Because why wouldn't you, right? Is that part of the trend?
Very strange.
So I want to
read gotta be.
The segment on the TikTok trend, the segment on the Grimace Shake Wikipedia is quite hilarious to me. Just in the way that it's worded. A TikTok video trend with the hashtag Grimace Shake began circulating after the release of the shake. In the video, users recorded themselves wishing Grimace a happy birthday while drinking the shake and giving the shake outstanding reviews. The video then cuts to a scene of the users finding themselves in unusual positions and or transported to strange locations, or being discovered dead while covered in the drink. Dead while covered in the drink. The videos are staged to look like a crime scene with the shake splattered around, implying that Grimace is the assassin who is responsible for their transformation.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. The company publicly responded to the trend with a TikTok video starring Grimace captioned, "Me pretending I don't see the Grimace Shake trend." A little corporate humor.
Oh, boy. Yeah, what a year it was, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
What a year it was. At least we could have a little fun.
Yeah, that was a fun diversion. The Grimace Shake. Yep.
Matt, I was going to ask you here. I had pulled up the 2023 domestic box office numbers. And I was going to see if you had seen and what your thoughts were on any of this year's top films.
Well, we had mentioned at the top of the show.
Starting with, at number one. Yeah.
Uh-huh. At number one was Barbie, right?
Barbie, yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if we talked about this on the show, but I attended a Barbenheimer screening. So I made my own.
You did them back to back?
I did them back to back. I did Oppenheimer first. I left. I had about an hour window in between films where I went and got some curry for dinner, and then took my curry back and actually ate it in the theater at the beginning of Barbie, which was great. And I thought I was going to get kicked out for it, but did not. I enjoyed all that curry in the movie theater. Very crowded movie theater because it was at the height of Barbie's popularity. But back to back, highly recommend it. Very jarring, but very fun. That was a very memorable time.
Yeah, I feel like this year movies really got. I feel like with the pandemic, it kind of slowed down a little bit at the box office. And I think, by the way, there were a lot of crap that was released this year. But Barbie is a great example with Oppenheimer. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, I thought, was very well received in theaters. Avatar: The Way of Water was big in theaters at the beginning of the year. Taylor Swift and the Eras Tour was huge, getting people back to. I feel like this really was a year of getting people back to theaters.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely like speaking personally. I probably saw more movies in theaters than I did the previous year. Not much.
Mm-hmm.
I still didn't see many, but I would say more. And I know a lot. I've noticed, and you can kind of confirm if I'm on it or not. But I feel like I saw a lot more movies that were saying that they were not being sent directly to streaming. A lot of movies that were in theaters only. I don't know, I remember seeing that a lot. Most famously, I would say, was probably the Scorsese film, Killers of the Flower Moon, which came out this year. That movie was, for a while, it's available streaming now on Apple, but it was when it appeared in theaters, it was like in theaters only for a good amount of time. A couple other movies too.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot.
I want to say like
there are a lot of them that are getting people out. Yeah, The Color Purple. This had a huge opening this past weekend for exactly that reason. Getting people back into the theaters.
Yes.
I also think it was it was a bad year for superhero movies. I really feel like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 did okay, but you look at Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, you look at The Flash and Blue Beetle and the Marvels, and movies that people just didn't seem to like and didn't want to watch, and maybe a bit of a changing of the Aquaman and the Last Kingdom had a pretty bad opening 2 weekends ago. I think it's the kind of thing people aren't as excited about as they used to be.
Yeah, the superhero definitely we saw a downward turn for the superhero movies. I think it's just oversaturation. I think it's just that people they're not done with superhero movies, but they're or content, but I think it's just becoming a bit much. Like it's telling that it's only now in 2023, how many years since the release of the original Avengers movies and all their pretext build-up movie. It's been almost we're on almost 2 decades of this that this really kicked off. I think the original Captain America was like 2009 or 2008, maybe. Like,
yeah,
like the first one in the series. Yeah, Captain America: The First Avenger, 2011, right? So well, I guess Iron Man was before that.
Yeah, Iron Man. Well, actually, Edward Norton's The Incredible Hulk is technically the first.
Yes, with who played Bruce Banner in that? Edward Norton, right?
Edward Norton. Yeah.
Why didn't he continue playing the Hulk? Why did they?
He actually. No, they fired. I think they fired him. I think he had some sort of ridiculous contractual demands or something, and got kicked off the project.
Because then they had Mark Ruffalo join for the next.
That's right.
He basically became the Hulk after that. Yeah,
but I also think it's interesting because it's not. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's sequel or franchise fatigue or IP fatigue." But if you look at this box office, it's not that at all, because you got Super Mario Brothers movie, Spider-Man, even the Little Mermaid remake did really well.
Well, okay,
Indiana Jones.
I would say
Impossible.
I would say at least for Super Mario, I think that was a curiosity, and also it's directly a kids. It's more of a kids.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what made it redemptive. That's what was. Really, a big thing was the curiosity surrounding it. I mean, you heard when Miyamoto announced all the voice actors that he got for the project: Chris Pratt, Jack Black, Charlie Day. It all just Seth Rogen. It just was like, how is this going to work? Are they actually going to make it work? And then they did actually make it work. I think it was more of a curiosity in the beginning that evolved into like this movie is actually pretty good. I think you saw the inverse with the Marvel movies where it was like, okay, this is more of what we have come to expect and what we see from within. Also, I imagine the COVID maybe had a lot of like writer shakeup People went on to do other projects. And this is now we're on what, wave 3 or wave 4 of the Marvel rollout. What phase are we on? 4?
Yeah, we're like 30,
something like that.
We're like 30 films in.
Yeah, we're well into the these are, I think a lot of the writers must have cycled out and gone on to, when you wrote for an Avenger, it's like being on a World Series or Super Bowl winning team. It's like now you're sought after by other businesses, other places in the industry. If you want to start your own projects, you're free to do that, and you take this with you. So I think we lost a lot of that A-list talent, at least in the writing. The writing really, not that I watched a lot of these superhero movies, but the writing really seemed to be kind of poor from a lot of them. I think that, so I'm saying it's not, I don't think it's just the fatigue, but I think that maybe that's another factor, is that core talent. I'm sure they probably lost a lot of that core talent at the heart of these films. We don't even realize it, but I think the quality probably suffers for it.
Well, they overextended into streaming, Disney Plus, running a whole bunch of these related series, which I think also kind of softened the brand and exhausted people a little bit. So, not ideal. Let's see, Matt. Any other 2023 things on your mind?
I'm glad you brought up the Grimace Shakes. that I had forgotten about. 2023 things. I just like the Grimace Shake because it was a trend, but like not a dance or something. A lot of these seem to be like those dances or TikTok trends. The Grimace Shake had its own TikTok trend, but Barbenheimer. I'm trying to think if there's anything like no, I mean, anything that we can look back and be like, that's very that's early, so early 20s, so early 2020s. I think the Grimace Shake will be right up there. I would rank that as the top trend of that and Barbenheimer. Top 2023 things.
Yeah, so I found a list here, and I won't read all of them. There's 203 things on this list, but the Sphere in Las Vegas.
The Sphere, yep. How about the Gritty? Was the Gritty?
Was the Gritty? Yeah, I think it was pretty big this year.
Gritty was big, yeah. The Sphere, Las Vegas Sphere, definitely.
What about, Ozempic?
What was big about Ozempic?
Ozempic?
The diabetes medication?
That was the get skinny medicine all the celebrities were taking? Are you not familiar with this?
I'm only familiar with it because I get a lot of ads from it. Like you get a lot of YouTube ads. I don't know if that's like it's similar to like Squarespace, where I always see a lot of these Ozempic. A lot of what it was a diabetes medication that a lot of them were using for weight loss, right? But then isn't it making people sick now or something? I don't know. That maybe is not true.
No, it's just no, it's just people are losing weight, but you have to lie and say you have diabetes to get it, and all the celebrities are doing it.
A weekly injection that helps lower blood sugar by making... Okay. Yeah, all right, I have heard of this. It's like a pen. Yeah. So that was you'd say that's a big 2023 thing?
Yes. Yes. What else? There's a whole bunch of stuff on this list.
NordVPN.
So maybe
NordVPN's been around for a while, but I've seen a lot of ads for NordVPN.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there just wasn't that much that happened this year.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, Matt. Why don't we? We're heading towards the end here. You want to do a couple more questions in the CNN Year in Review News quiz?
Yeah, let's do it.
And that'll take us home here.
You want to share your screen, and we
throw
can
the tab. Yep, should be coming through for you now, Matt. Number 11. This year's Super Bowl marked the first time that two brothers faced off against each other in a big game. Which NFL teams do Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce play for? Is it the Bengals and 49ers, Chiefs and Eagles, Bills and Buccaneers, Dolphins and Cowboys?
It's the Chiefs and Eagles, it would be.
You know that one.
We got our Super Bowl
That's right, Kansas City
episode right around the corner. We don't know as of recording who will be in it because the playoffs have not started. I think there is 2 more weeks of NFL football to be played, but I always look forward to our Super Bowl episode. I think that's some of our best content. So keep an eye out. And
this year's halftime performer will be Usher.
Usher. And this year is one of the several years where my birthday coincides with the Super Bowl weekend. My birthday is on that Friday, the 9th. And then the Super Bowl is literally 2 days after that, Sean, on the 11th. Crazy.
Never been a better time to be Matt.
That is the month of Matt for sure. February. Some say it's the month of love. Others say it's the month of Matt. Oh, that's right. The Coachella thing.
To love Matt.
Yeah. I just took a look at this question.
70,000 festival attendees were stranded in the Nevada desert.
Yeah, this was not Coachella. It was Burning Man. I saw Coachella pop up as one of the choices, and I incorrectly said it's the Coachella thing, but it is not. It was the Burning Man thing. Yep.
It was.
I remember that. Yeah. That was another thing.
Which movie cleaned up at the Oscars by winning 7 awards, including Best Picture? Was it Elvis, Top Gun Maverick, The Banshees of Inisherin, or Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Still have not seen this. It was Everything Everywhere All at Once. I would like to see it. I very much have to say it was. I don't remember if it was when they. I think it wasn't. Didn't Harrison Ford was the man reading that, right?
Yes, sir.
He was okay. So Harrison Ford was reading the award, and Short Round stars in the movie.
That's right. Very fun moment. Reuniting those two.
What? What did you say?
I said a very nice moment reuniting those two.
Yes, they both came on the stage. Do you recall what he said to Harrison Ford? And when he received the award? He said, "We did it, Dr. Jones," in the Short Round voice. Oh. Very heartwarming. Yes, very, very good. We had our summer award this year.
We did. I was gonna maybe you've given me the opportunity to pivot here to recap our year on the show. If you remember all the things we did, we did our Super Bowl prop bets last year. With the Eagles and the Chiefs, and I won for the second year in a row with a score of 8-3.
Mm-hmm. I do. That was the.
Do you, Matt? Go ahead.
I was just going to say that was your. Are you going to go for a three-peat this year?
I'm hoping. I will say, at the end of each Super Bowl, we make the prediction for next year's Super Bowl. Matt, do you remember who you and I picked to be in the upcoming 2024 Super Bowl?
I believe I do. And I believe I can also recall, because I've been holding on to this, because I still think it may happen. I recall I also picked the championship game, right? So I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but if my memory serves, I think I picked the NFC champion to repeat, to be the Eagles again. I think I had Eagles playing the 49ers again.
No, that would have been good if you did that, but instead you picked the Eagles versus the Bengals, who unfortunately don't have much of a shot.
No. Okay, all right. So, but I picked the Eagles to win, to go into the Super Bowl.
We didn't pick winners. We just said who was.
So in my mind, it was Eagles winning the championship game, right?
You still got a shot. I had picked the Dolphins versus the Lions, which is not likely, but still plausible.
Oh, you're saying for the Super Bowl. I was confused. I was saying the NFC Championship.
Oh,
The NFC Championship in my
no, for
mind
the
was
Super Bowl.
Eagles. Right. Okay. I was going to say the Bengals wouldn't be in the NFC Championship. It was.
No,
It
no, they
was.
would not. No. This was the Super Bowl.
Yes. Okay. So then I was also wrong about that because I thought the Super Bowl I had the Eagles beating. I had the Eagles playing the Bills in the Super Bowl. At least that's my pick now.
Nope.
So I thought that still would hold true.
Well,
so I had the Eagles beating the 49ers to go to the Super Bowl and play the Bills, who had just defeated the. I think I had the Miami Dolphins. Would that be possible?
Oof.
They could play in the championship, right?
Absolutely, they could.
Oh, yeah. They're both AFC teams.
I've got Dolphins Lions in the Super Bowl, and who knows?
Okay, which is also
possible.
I mean, they both clinched last week. The Bengals did not clinch, so
Yeah,
they're if not
It'll be a lot of
eliminated, soon will be. But yeah, yeah, no, anything could happen. I think that any combination of those teams would be very exciting. Of course, the biggest hype right now. I don't know. Do you know the two teams that are biggest? Have the biggest hype surrounding them?
Well, hype. First of all, hype changes so much week to week.
As of right now,
that the Ravens got a lot of a lot of hype.
Seems like the
which
biggest
sucks because I'm a very anti-Ravens fan.
You're an anti-Ravens fan.
Yes, absolutely. I am again. I don't like the Ravens. I do not want to see them win. I don't have any particular reason why. I just don't like them.
Okay, we got a lot of anti-Raven sentiment. I think that seems like the biggest hype is a repeat of if you recall, the 2012 Super Bowl, Ravens 49ers. Now I am on the other side, Sean. I despise the 49ers. I have a name for them. I call them the 40-winers. I call them the San Francisco 40-winers. They whine a lot.
Okay.
They whine about injuries to their team. They whine about the causes of injuries to their team, about how quarterbacks were injured in the last NFC Championship game, and they whine a lot. Now, do I hate them more than the Cowboys? I do not. I think Dallas still, I think, has my place as the most hated team of all. But 40-winers are up there. They've been notified. I don't know if I have anything particularly against the Ravens. I think that Lamar is a talented quarterback. Would I root for them against the Winers? Probably. But I actually don't think they're gonna. I don't know. Something tells me that they are gonna do what they do every year, where they choke in the playoffs. I think that's very likely to happen. But we'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Cowboys are the worst, and would definitely not be in favor of that. I don't really have a strong opinion on the 49ers. I think my feel-good team of the year that I'm rooting for is the Dolphins. I don't know if you've watched any of the Hard Knocks in season they've been doing.
Yeah,
in the season.
I have been following them because I have Tyreek Hill on my fantasy team. I'm in the championship. I don't know if I told you that. I'm currently in my league's championship game. And I am up by 15 points because I have Cleveland's defense playing against the Jets tonight. So,
hot damn.
Indeed. But because I have Tyreek Hill, I've been following the Dolphins quite a bit. I think I had their defense at 1.2. Oh, and I have their kicker. I have Jason Sanders. So yeah, I've been a little bit of a de facto Dolphins fan this year. I think their coach is great. McDaniels, is that right? McDaniel,
Yep.
Mike McDaniel. Yeah, I think he's hilarious because he's like a.
That's right.
He's like a meme almost. He's like a nerd coach.
Weird little man.
Yeah, weird little man. I like him.
Well, and by the way, this is not to as a form of bragging, but it sort of is. I won my fantasy championship last week.
Ooh, congratulations. Congratulations.
Champion. And by the way, this is the first. I had never even made the playoffs before this year.
Wow. Who are your key players?
And I won by 40 points. I beat the best team in the league.
Well done.
Who were my key players? That's a really. I did not. My lineup was really mediocre. What really saved me is having both AJ Brown and CD Lamb, who are like 1 and 2 receivers this year. But
Yep.
the rest of it was really, I ended up with, I had Trevor Lawrence, who was hit or miss all year. I mixed him in with other guys. James
Yeah, I have
Conner
Trevor
did good
Lawrence.
for me. I had Stevenson till he got hurt, and then swapped in Elliott, and they did okay. So it was not like an all-star team.
No, Lawrence
I
did
just
not
got
have a
lucky
good
and-
fantasy year at all. I had him and he rode the bench for most of my season. I've got Baker Mayfield in right now, but most of my season I just suffered with whoever my backup was, which was kind of a rotating chair flavor of the week. But Lawrence, yeah, he had like a couple weeks where he was good, but he was not the reason. Tyreek Hill was the reason. For me at least.
No,
Now,
I'm
can I-
well. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah,
for you.
congratulations to you. Thank you. I don't know if do you have a team name that you go with every year? Do you have a convention that you use?
I really, I don't, because I'm not that clever, and this is just a me thing. The sort of like pun names with the player names never does it. I just doesn't do it for me. But it's a company league for my company, which is Fasten Master. So this year I was Fantasy Master.
Okay.
And went with that. But no, I'm not usually good about doing the clever. You must have a clever team name, I'm sure.
I am very much about the play. Whatever players are on my team, I will. The first thing I do after the draft is I try to make puns around them, and then I try to pick the best one. So this year I had drafted, and he's no longer. The funny thing is he's no longer on my team, but I kept the name because I liked it. I drafted Darius Slayton with my last pick, and so my team was Hail Slayton, and that stuck. And so I'm still Hail Slayton because I said, you know what, I'll change the name if I start to lose. But I ended the season 12-2, so I never went on that like losing streak, and there I am. So I named it Hail Slayton. I've been in the past. I've been Space Cam and then Space Cam 2 years when I had Alvin Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
And then those are some of the names that I remember. But yeah, I'm very much I know some people are very much the player names. Shake It Goff, I've seen, or Bad Juju for Juju Smith-Schuster. Some good ones like that. Yeah. I don't know. And I know some people who just pick a name and that's always their name every year in, year out. I like the rotating chair. Can I say one of my favorites?
Yes.
One of my favorites is fantasy baseball. This year, I had a pitcher on the Mets by the name of Kodai Senga, and so I was Senga's Genesis, and then I changed to the Senga Saturn.
Oh, there you go.
Because this was his first year. So Senga,
I like that.
Senga Saturn. I was proud of that one. Yep.
You are a pit, Matt. Well, listen, a great year, Matt. Together with you on the show, we did so many great things. I hope everybody out there enjoyed them as much as we enjoyed making them. And I think we're going to have a great 2024 ahead.
I think so too. This year, looking forward to my birthday being on a Friday. Right off the bat, pretty good. What else was interesting? Oh, interesting facts about 2024. Did you know that this year, in December of next year, 2024, the year we're going into, Hanukkah and Christmas fall on the same day. The beginning, it's one of those years where the start of Hanukkah.
Wow.
Start of Hanukkah starts. First night of Hanukkah is on Christmas. Another cool thing is, I think Diwali and Halloween are on the same night.
Leap year.
Mm-hmm. It's also a leap year.
Oh.
Diwali and Halloween are on the same night. A leap year, so we get an extra day of February. One of my favorite months. among my favorite,
right.
my top months. Yeah. I don't know.
That's a
Any
good
other
one.
fun 2024 facts?
I'm sure we'll have a free and fair election.
Oh, as always.
So you can look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always love election year. Yeah. We can have another election episode where we both incorrectly choose the nominees for a Republican candidate.
Spoiler alert, Matt. Ain't going to be hard to pick them this time around.
What's Bobby Jindal up to? Dark Horse.
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm sure he's a very well compensated lobbyist somewhere.
Yes,
for him.
yeah. He's working on some books if he hasn't written them already. Yeah, it's a leap year.
Next year, our goal for there's going to be good stuff going on. We'll do all of our usual shenanigans. We got March Madness. We've got our summer movies and book club. I may get a month this year. We'll see if I get around to it. So the Super Bowl, we got a lot of fun stuff coming up next year.
Yeah, on April 8th, we've got a solar eclipse.
Oh, snap.
Solar eclipse.
One of those boxes with the tiny holes in them.
And we'll get to see it. It's going over North America. We will get to see the solar eclipse. Yeah, remember that?
Nice.
That we had last time, I think, was
Matt,
a couple years ago.
This is a number of years ago. What, 6 years ago, maybe? Matt, you can quote me on this. 2024 is going to be the best year ever. Replay this clip for me at the end of 2024. It's going to be the best year ever.
Best year ever. Let's.
I do declare.
Let's hope so. Let's drink to that. My water bottle.
I love it. Well, Matt, we're going to start wrapping it up here. We appreciate all of you joining us. Be sure to go back. Listen, all of this 2023, all of our episodes are available to you. You can check them out wherever you get podcasts. Just search for Up for Debate. You can go to our website, upfordebate.tv. They're all listed there as well. And the video versions are on YouTube, so you can see our beautiful shining faces in glorious 720p. Make sure you get a hold of us. upfordebatetv@gmail.com is our email address. Let us know what you're looking forward to in 2024. And that's about going to wrap it up here. So, Matt, a pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you in a couple days here, which is going to be nice. We're going to get to see Matt in person, which is great. And then we'll see you all for another episode of Up for Debate. On behalf of Matt, I'm Sean. We appreciate being here. We'll see you next time for another great episode of this show.